Hi, mamas and papas out there. I hope everybody is having an amazing day today. I hope you've had a chance to have some gratitude, reflect on gratitude, have a couple good laughs maybe for the day, and just try to find at least one thing to appreciate that you have in your life going on right now. So today I want to dive a little bit into the emotion of despair. And the reason this one kind of came up is I am still on my healing journey. Um, Healing, depending on how much you have been through in your life or how many traumatic events or how sensitive you are to other people's emotions. And there's a lot of factors that can determine how long your healing process is going to be. But in the reality of life, I think you're always healing in some way. So the when you start unpacking all the emotions that you carry around with you on a regular basis, your body is going to go through changes of expanding, of growing, and healing from the inside out. And you're also going to have, bouts of emotions that come up, and it may come up out of nowhere that is a specific, emotion, and it covers a lot of different areas in your life of things that have happened, or the emotion may kind of just sit under the surface and you feel it there, or it may come up and you may not even know how to explain it. The biggest thing with healing and letting emotions go is to just be present with the emotion, allow your body to feel what it needs to feel, and let the rest of it go. You don't want to hang on to the things that come up. You want to be able to let them come up and have the gratitude for what lessons they've taught you in your life, and then let them go. The story doesn't always matter, so you don't want to spend time trying to search for a specific reason or story that correlates to the emotion that you're having. You just want to allow yourself to have and feel that emotion, and then let it pass through you and go. So for me, I had a lot of emotion come up this morning around despair. And I actually had to Google it to see what it actually meant, to kind of understand exactly what I was feeling. But the word despair was what came into my head while I was releasing all these emotions. And it's not one that people talk about. It's not necessarily one that people, it's not a regular emotion that every day, like happy and sad and anger and fear. And yes, despair falls under, sadness and loss of, the actual definition according to the dictionary is the utter loss of hope. And to experience moments in your life where you have utterly felt like your all hope was gone, and you didn't have any idea where to go or what your next steps were going to be. It's a hard emotion. It's a deep emotion to feel and process when you think about the fact that having hope, and no matter how small that shred of hope is that you have, all you need is a little bit of hope, to keep yourself going. And at one point in the post-divorce years for me, there were definitely moments, and not just one, but moments where I felt completely and just utterly lost, and like there was nothing that I could think of that I could do to change or improve the situation that I was in. And um, you have that moment, and then you find that little shred of hope that you hold on to, whatever that may be, and you pick yourself back up and you keep going forward. So despair is a very rock bottom emotion. So if you are experiencing feelings of despair, please contact someone that can help you through those feelings, some kind of support system that you can reach out to. 911 is always an option if you feel that you need to reach out to them as well. So let's dive a little bit into despair and things that kind of what it is, how you can help yourself work through it when it comes up, and kind of different things you can do to try and help heal yourself if you're carrying around despair. So despair is the utter loss of hope, and having hope is what keeps us moving forward. The hope of a better future, the hope of a gas station being a mile down the road, a hope. We all have hope every day of our lives, whether we recognize it or not. The feeling of hope is always there for us, and so some other than despair, it's the loss of just feeling completely desperate and like you are at the rock bottom of your life or your situation, and you have no idea how you're going to get out of it. And when you're dealing with a situation, or you're in a situation where you have a toxic person on the other side of this equation, it can feel like your world is falling apart and completely out of your hands, and you have no idea where to go or what to do. And that toxic person on the other side of that coin probably knows that their job, they thrive off of your negativity, and they thrive off of that feeling of like they have that power over you and that they have that control, and that they're making your life miserable because that's how they are. They act out, they throw tantrums, they don't care who they hurt, they don't care who's in the middle. Their only goal is to make you miserable and to find ways to keep you down and knock you down and make you question yourself and make you just feel hopeless. And that's their goal, unfortunately. If you're watching this video, you can resonate, I can assume, at some point in that explanation of just things that they will put you through. And healing yourself and allowing yourself to process these emotions that this other person has allowed you and put on you and made you feel, you have to let them go. And I know it's not always easy. I can sit here and say you have to let them go, and you will let them go when you're ready to. When your body feels that you are strong enough mentally, physically, emotionally to support the emotions that are going to come up to that level, and maybe memories that come up with it. Your body will release it as long as you are giving your body that permission to do so. Despair is, it's a dark place. It really is. I'm going to get emotional. I can remember nights of crying myself to sleep on the bathroom floor because it was the only place I could go that I wouldn't disturb my kids that were sleeping in the other room. Um, and it would usually come after some big scheme ploy by my ex to try and get a rise out of me, to make me scared. Um, or it could be from a buildup of little things that had happened over the course of weeks or months that just kept piling and piling and piling on top of each other, and eventually just would break me. And um, the stories I could share along despair, but my when you are when your character and your every essence of who you are is being torn apart and questioned and dragged through the mud and put on display for anyone to see that's willing to listen, is gut wrenching when you have to sit there and watch someone try and just completely ruin whatever you have left of you at this point. Is it's devastating. It's devastating. It's desperation. You reach a point where you are almost willing to do anything to make it stop. My first 2 to 3 years after I left my ex was horrible. And those are the years that I would cry myself to sleep because I just had no idea what I was going to do or how I was going to get out of this situation that I was in. And I had already left. We were already living apart. I thought that was going to be the hardest part, and it wasn't. It wasn't. It got so much worse. And to be in a place of such chaos and darkness, and to be so alone and have 3 little ones and have no idea what to even start to do to try and move forward. It's a hard place to be in, and there is light at the end of that tunnel, and it may not always go the way that you want it to, and you may feel like the world is against you, and you may feel completely and utterly just out of hope or lost at the end of your rope. Just know you're not alone. Know that there is help out there for you, and if you are in a place like that, reach out to somebody. Give them a call. Find a shelter, find a therapist, find someone that can help you out of that place, and help you work through those current emotions and dark feelings that you're sitting in if it's too much. When I was in the throes of it, when these feelings of despair that came up this morning came from, I had my ex and his mother both working against me to create situations, chaos, all kinds of stuff. And the despair that I processed out this morning was from those times that, these were people that I loved and I thought loved me back. And even though we were separating, I hung on to hope that there would be some way, some avenue that we could figure out how to parent our children in a positive way for their benefit. And that was the hope I held on to. And excuse me. I held on to that shred of hope for a very long time before I finally allowed myself to let it go, knowing that it was never going to happen. And holding on to that little shred of hope and holding on to not wanting my children to be raised solely in an environment like that, like the stuff that I was getting from my ex and his mother-in-law. I did not want my children to be raised in that environment. So they were what kept me going in the beginning, because that was all I had. And those moments of despair that I experienced at the hands of, two people that I loved on some level, and my children were what pulled me back and kept me going every single time I hit that floor and that bottom below me with nowhere else to go. So, despair. It's a fucker of an emotion, that's for sure. So, despair, there is an upside to it. Once we work through our emotions and feelings of despair, we're allowing our bodies to make room for feeling joy and happiness and having confidence. It's not going to fully open the doors for you to experience all these positive emotions all at once and in their full capacity, but you're clearing out, you're making room within your heart for these positive emotions to have a place to go. You're letting the negativity leave and you're releasing that despair and those moments of just complete and utter loss that you're experiencing. You will bounce back. You will, move through those feelings. So you just have to allow your body and allow yourself to feel these and to be present with them for the moment that they're here. If you're, working on old memories, if it's something that's current and you're currently in this place of feeling despair, that's where you need to find someone to reach out to, find a support person. And if you don't have those means to do so, just know that you are worth being here and being who you are 100% in the light that you are. And you don't need to let someone else's negativity and toxicity become the center of who you are. You have a light within you. It's just been lost for so long and silenced and buried under all the negativity and toxicity and traumas that you've been through that it doesn't know how to shine past all that. So you need to look inward and start looking at some of the things and getting help and working through it so you can let that light shine again. So ways to work through healing despair. Despair it's part of sadness. It falls with, hurt. It's gonna sit primarily in your chest area, possibly your throat and your head, but it's gonna be primarily, working through your heart chakra, your heart center, and working on letting down the walls and the guards that you've put around your heart. If you are coming out of any type of toxic relationship and you have children in the middle, you have a lot going on in your life. You have a lot of emotions and dynamics that you are probably experiencing on a daily basis. And you need to allow yourself to have the time to feel those, because otherwise you're just going to put walls up around your heart. You're going to put guards up that are just going to keep you more isolated and more sheltered than you're meant to be. So really focusing on letting your heart have a moment, letting your heart feel. Ways you can do this is through breathing. There's simple breathing exercises, and even just taking deep breaths and following your breath in and out, you're relaxing your muscles. You can then, focus while you're breathing on your heart. Imagine, have your heart center. You can put your hands over it and allow the energies from your hands to be felt in your chest. And see what happens. See what comes up. You can imagine a green, pink light emanating from your heart center, and allow yourself to just feel that, no matter how small or how big it is. It will get bigger. The more you heal your heart, you'll be able to feel more of it. But just allow yourself and tell yourself that it's okay to feel. It's okay for me to feel these emotions and to let them go. And just see what comes up. And allow yourself to cry. Allow yourself to say what you want to say. Allow yourself to scream. Whatever your body feels it needs to do, as long as you're not harming yourself or others, then allow it to come out and have its moment and let it go. You can journal about it if you aren't comfortable or you can't get into just kind of breathing and getting in touch with yourself. Continue to work on that though, because it is a great place to start, just getting to know your body again and following your breathing and putting your attention on certain muscles or areas of your body and breathing into those is a great way to start to really get to know your body again. So journaling is another way. You can write out what you're feeling. You can write despair and any thoughts or memories that come up related to it. You can write that down. You can keep it in your journal. You can safely burn it and really just let all of those emotions and feelings and memories go. You can bury it in your backyard and let Mother Earth have it back. You can meditate. Meditation is a great way to help your body get centered and to ground yourself and to become more aware and familiar with your body and your thoughts and your feelings and emotions. You can go for a walk, go for a hike, go sit at a park, go to the beach, anywhere you can get outside and be in nature and just walk with your thoughts. Don't put music in. Just walk with your thoughts. Let your thoughts come and go. And don't hold on to any. Let the emotions that come up with them come and go. And you just have to set the intention when you're heading out for your walk or hike or going to the park that you are going there to allow yourself to feel things and to become connected with the nature around you and with yourself, and put it out there verbally. Say it to yourself within your head, but give yourself that permission to allow these things to be expressed and be seen and heard and to release. And if you are able to do that and really allow yourself to feel what's coming up, it's not always going to be easy. It may feel overwhelming. If it feels overwhelming at any point, definitely just take a few deep breaths and take a small step back from what's coming up and let what came up out before you really focus back in on what you were looking at before. But when it comes up, if it starts to make you feel, antsy, but it's not overwhelming, or you get a little restless, that's when you really want to lean into it just a little more and give yourself that permission to let it go. And letting these emotions go and these feelings go that you most likely are carrying around with you as a result of your toxic relationship and having to try and co-parent with this toxic person. Allowing yourself to really feel these emotions and release them and move past them will change your view on how you're parenting and how you're communicating and interacting with the toxic ex, and connections that may still be there with this person that you can eventually learn to let go, and they won't have that control and that feeling of power over you anymore, to where you truly can feel like you can express yourself and be yourself. And I'm a prime example. I'm sitting here now. I never in a million years would have thought that I would be filming videos for YouTube talking about my experiences and my healing journey from leaving my toxic ex and trying to parent with them for 10 years. So the fact that I am finally personally at a place where I feel empowered enough and strong enough to talk about these things and put these out there to hopefully help others that are going through it is a huge step in my life that I never thought I would ever have the courage to do. So I appreciate you being here. I appreciate and I'm grateful for the ability I have to share my experiences and insights to hopefully help you grow and learn. And if there's anything more you want to know on despair, any certain feelings that you want me to talk about, put them in the comments below and I will get to them over the course of this series. And I will post emotion videos probably twice a month, once every other week, around a specific emotion, experiences that I personally went through my process of leaving my ex and trying to co-parent for the last 10 years, and offer ways and tools and tricks that can help you to start to heal yourself and start to feel and release these emotions and experiences that you've been through, so you can become and live the glorious life that you were meant to have on this earth. You were not put on this earth to be someone else's doormat. You were not put on this earth to let somebody else's toxic behaviors become the source and center of your world. You were not put on this earth for any of that. You were put on this earth to shine and to have a light and to let your voice be heard. So I am here to help you reach that point. Namaste.